You've broken some big exclusive stories in this, both with the Daily Telegraph in the last couple of months and with the Australian now. Your journalism has not only broken these stories in Australia, but it's been followed up around the world as world exclusives. Yet the ABC's Media Watch, instead of lauding you for this journalism, they have dismissed it, diminished it, attacked it, and essentially said that it's not much of a story at all. Here's our great mate at ABC Media Watch, Paul Barry.
A bombshell dossier on that analysis. Or on the verdict of one security source who described it to Media Watch as, quote, old, filed away, ignored, discarded, and even complete crap.
Well, rather than get Sharri on her own work, why don't we start with you then, Jack? I mean, this is extraordinary. World-breaking journalism, and the ABC dismisses it. Why? Because it's attacking communism?
Well, I think I've got a theory about this. I think there were some commonalities between some of the themes and stuff that Donald Trump was saying at the time. Obviously went very hard on China, quite rightfully, because they lied about data. They arrested people that were raising the warning flag. And there's now evidence to suggest that the outbreak was there as early as October, several months before they told the rest of the world, which would have given us a lot of time to make preparations. Now, I think Paul Barry, he just hates Donald Trump so much that anything which supports a narrative that he may be pursuing has to be demonised. It has to be completely smashed. At the end of the day, the dossier that Sharri Markson, and congratulations, Sharri, to all of your reports on these topics, they've been sensational. The dossier existed. It was a legitimate dossier. It was a warning. It was done by, you know, it is something that the world needs to know about, and it has now triggered all of these things like this independent inquiry that the World Health Organization is dodging up right now. It is something that we need to know the answers to, and it is just surprises me how time and time again people like Paul Barry, if the narrative doesn't fit what they want to achieve, then they just dismiss it, even if the public has a right to know.
Sharri, they don't like the narrative, but they haven't been able to unpick or confound one fact in your pieces.
Well, absolutely. And that's the point. You know, everyone thinks the ABC is objective and is bipartisan, but what you can see from just those statements alone that Paul Barry made is that Paul Barry is the one who is radically to the left. He is the one who is ideologically driven. He is the one that is partisan. And it is the Australian, publications like the Australian, that are absolutely in the centre, that are objective, that report the facts as they come about without casting judgments about, you know, something that none of us can know at this point, which is where the coronavirus, COVID-19, originated from. I mean, how is it that Paul Barry knows more than intelligence agencies around the world that are currently investigating this? How is it that Paul Barry knows more than all of our governments that have said, well, actually, we need an inquiry to get to the bottom of how the coronavirus outbreak started? Well, the truth is he doesn't. And none of my reports reached a conclusion. It presented factual evidence. It presented facts. The dossier was part of a big investigative piece of reporting into the origins of the virus, but more specifically into China's cover-up of COVID-19.
Exactly. And the cover-up is absolutely uncontested. Yeah.
And it might have come from the laboratory. It might have been naturally occurring. We just don't know yet, and that's the point.
Absolutely, spot on.